Hello everybody and welcome back. And our party are here in the middle of this really, well, what is clearly a place of great evil. And we start this session with yet another level up. And this time it's Liz. She has crept over the 4,800 mark by just 14 points. And that was largely due to the treasure we found in this torture chamber. I've marked up all her improved thieving skills, but let's roll for her HP. She gets a +1 con bonus, and she currently has 12. Good, and she gets another 4. So she is up to 16. And she is a level 4 thief. Okay, well, the only place we haven't been to is ahead. We go round the corner and we immediately see some stairs going upward. So we go up these stairs and there's a door at the end. And Liz is going to listen at the door. She doesn't hear anything. We open it and we find ourselves in quite a large corridor with a slope going upward. I assume it's upward, it just says slope, right? And a door to the west, and the corridor goes east. Now this corridor is of a very different nature than this area here. They seem to be two different structures which have been joined onto each other. I've described this one as a kind of akin to a passage tomb that's been made with stones. But obviously not a Bronze Age passage tomb, but something more of a dry stone walled one. This, however, has a very different description, and I'll read it from the book. A faint, foul draught issues from this 20-foot wide cave mouth, which is the entrance to this place. A worn path through the copse of obscenely twisted and oddly bloated trees gives those approaching along its length an eerie sense of unease. And as soon as they enter the cave mouth, a dim awareness of lurking evil will pervade their senses. Red strata intertwines with bulging black veins running through the hewn rock walls beyond the entrance. The wide corridors and chambers are deathly still. A faint groaning sound and a shrill piping may be occasionally heard, barely perceptible even if the party is absolutely silent and listening. The floors are smooth and worn by the tread of countless feet of the worshippers of this grim place, and the footsteps of intruders will echo alarmingly in these vaulted halls, +2 chance of being surprised. And the extreme care must be taken to muffle such sounds if the party has any hope of remaining undetected until the movement of their choosing. Continual noise will bring us a group of zombie guards to investigate, and it gives us the stats for the zombies. Right, well, we can immediately see the light from the outside world pouring into at least this area here. So we go to investigate, and sure enough, we hear our footsteps are alarmingly loud, and we find ourselves here. Has that accidentally brought these zombie guards upon us? Well, it says continually. We can get off that way, so we're going to have to walk with extra care back to here. Now there's a door here, and Liz will listen at the door. And she doesn't hear anything. So we're going to open this door, and it makes an extremely loud creaking noise. And our party in formation are going to enter. And what do we find? We find 4 figures in robes and deep cowled hoods. Are they waiting for us because of our footsteps? Did they think we were their colleagues? Are they at prayer? Have we surprised them? Let's roll for that. There's no surprise. These people, what is their reaction to us? We're intruders. They're inherently evil. That is a low reaction. It's possibly attack. So they get up from what they were doing, draw their weapons, which are maces and warhammers. Yes, and that's attack. Right, let's roll for initiative. And they get it. Right, there's 4 of them. 2 on Donard, 2 on Carrick. The first one on Donard misses, as does the second one. First one on Carrick misses, as does... Oh, now these are fighters, level 1. That hits armor class 0. He has armor class -1, so that's a miss. Wow, good. Argo, missiles, and we have 3 archers. We've got Sylvia, who misses. We've got Stuart, or retainer, who misses. And we've got Liz, and even though she is level 4, she hasn't changed her THACO nor her saving throws. She has to wait to level 5. And with her 4 bonuses onto that, 1 for short range, 1 for dex, and training, she hits armor class 3. They have armor class 5. She takes 1 out. Right, then we have Donard, who with 3 onto that hits armor class 4, takes out another 1. And then we have Carrick, who takes out a 3rd one. Right, round 2. And we get initiative. There's 1 of these people left. Right, let's try Sylvia. +1 for short range is a hit. She does 1 damage. Let's try Stuart, who in the past, when he hits well. Well, he hit. And Liz. He's peppered with 3 arrows and he falls to the ground. And we're going to investigate this room. They're wearing rusty red robes with black cowls. Under right they wear chainmails and have maces and 10 gold pieces. And one of them wears an amulet of protection from good. Now that amulet will clearly look unpleasant, but the robes and cowls... Right, well, we have worn disguises before, and I think it's going to occur to us to wear these. You know. Let's see if Malin can roll 17 or less. He can. Yeah, so it occurs to him that they should put on these robes. So they've only got 4. Okay, there's 6 of us. That would leave Stuart and Malin without. Though we might put the robe onto him and turn Liz invisible. Well, we've got a handle on what this place is. It seems to be some kind of evil temple. So let's go back this way, even though we try to be cautious. Let's roll to see if we succeed. Are we good enough at walking silently, or do we fail? Odds are we fail, evens, it's a success. And it's a success. We don't want to go up to this slope. We're here, we're in the daylight. We're going to go further in, and we come to another junction. And we'll decide to go ahead or south. 1 to 3 ahead, 4 to 6 south. And everybody but Carrick, who always seems to lose the vote, wants to go ahead. So we come here and we find ourselves at another junction, and this one is clearly blocked off with a load of rubble. And Carrick can quickly assess that this entire passage might be filled with it, or it may only just be 10 feet. Either way, there's no point in us trying to clear this passage. The way out is just here. So we go up into this room here and we find an altar. This is an unusual audience chamber that has a dais and a throne-like chair set with 4 large red gems on the south end. It is except for a dozen skeletons clad in rags of chainmail, bearing battered shields and rusty scimitars propped against the walls. Are any of us wise enough to know that if we touch these jewels, then these skeletons will spring to life? Well, we have a level 3 cleric with us, who is confident he can turn skeletons. We're going to debate this for a minute and decide what to do. Right, we've decided we're going to go for it. What we're going to do is we're going to get our 3 archers and Malin to line up. So Malin and Sylvia have torches, Liz and Stuart have flasks of oil. We're going to have Donard here, and we're going to send Carrick up to prize these jewels off this throne. Right. What's our rationale for doing that? Well, Carrick can tell that the jewels are truly worth something, and he does kind of covet them. And Liz's argument is they're better in our pockets than in the pockets of this evil cult. So yes, Carrick goes up, and he doesn't even have to touch the throne. As soon as he puts his foot on the dais, then, well, all hell breaks loose, and as expected, the skeletons, 6 on each side, come to life. We're not surprised. The skeletons aren't surprised. Who has initiative? And we get initiative. Right, missiles first. Well, actually, we're going to hold off on the missiles, because the skeletons are too spread out. We want them gathered together in a corner so we can throw oil, which only lands in a small patch. It doesn't cover like 20 square feet. It's only like 3 square feet. So we want these skeletons to be crammed in like people crushed into the corner of an elevator. So our first port of call is magic, and that's turn undead. Now these skeletons all have amulets, which makes them 1 level harder to turn. So if you were a level 1 cleric, instead of a 7, you would need to throw a 9. But Donard can turn both skeletons and zombies, so he still turns them. How many? 4. Great. Okay. Right. So 4 of them rush off into this corner here. Maybe we should have used the flasks of oil. Maybe we're a bit over flasked. Okay, now it's melee. It's Carrick's turn. He has to fight at least 1. There's 8 left. Right, okay. Plus 4 is 10. No, they have AC 7, that's a miss. Right, we've got 4 on Carrick. That's a miss. 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 And miss. And 4 on Donard. Miss. 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 They're 1 HD monsters, so that is AC 2, he has AC 1. And miss. Okay, round 2. And they get initiative again. Let's go through that whole thing. 4 on Carrick. Oh, that's not a miss. And neither's that. That is. And that is 4 on Donard. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, our turn. Right, Carrick, potion of healing. 4 points. Missiles. Stuart is going to throw his oil flask at this gaggle of 4. And he doesn't get a short range bonus, but he gets 2 decks, so he hits the skeletons. Can Malin throw his torch? Yes, he does. And he sets the little gaggle of 4 skeletons on fire. And they only have 3 HP each, so that's them gone. Liz and Sylvia are going to have to change to their bows. That's their turn. So that just leaves Donard to attack 1. And he misses. Okay. Round 3. And we get initiative. Right, let's do missiles again. Stuart is going to switch to his bow. Malin is going to switch to daggers. We've got Sylvia, who with a +1 short range hits AC 6. That hits, does 1 damage. We've got Liz, with her bonuses, hits, takes out 1. Then we have Donard, who misses, and Carrick, who hits and takes out another. There's 5 left. Right, that's 3 on Carrick. Oh, that's another hit. And if he didn't drink that healing potion, miss. And miss. And then 2 on Donard. Miss. And miss. Right. Round 4. We get initiative again. Right. Oh, I think Carrick may have had 2 actions there. I think he drunk his healing potion and fought. I'll have to revive that skeleton. Missiles, let's get this over and done with. Right. Stuart misses badly. Sylvia misses. Liz misses. Malin with one of his daggers misses. Double 1. Right, spells. Wand of healing on Carrick. 3 points. And then Carrick on a skeleton hits and with a lot of vengeance takes out another one. Right, their turn. Now there is 5 left. 3 on Carrick. Miss. Miss. And miss. 2 on Donard. Miss. And miss. Right. Round 5. Oh, and they get it. Okay. 3 on Carrick. Miss. Miss. And miss. They miss badly. 2 on Donard. Miss. And miss. Okay. Missiles from us. Stuart misses. Liz misses. Sylvia misses. Malin with the dagger hits and does 2 damage. He takes out a damaged skeleton. Donard misses. And Carrick hits and takes out another one. Right, Now it's round 6. And they get initiative. So okay, there's 4 left. 2 on Donard, 2 on Carrick. Misses. And misses. And 2 on Donard. Hits. And misses. Okay, our turn. Stuart. Well, that's a hit. He does 1 damage. Sylvia. And that's a hit. And she takes that one out. Liz. Hits. And with her bonuses, +2 to damage, takes that one out. Carrick. Sorry, Donard. Yep, he hits that one. Takes 1 out. There's 1 left. It's on Carrick. What can he do? Yes, and he takes that one out. So, whew, right. Okay, our dwarf has a hell of a lot of sword wounds on him. Right, I think we're going to have to heal him with 2 healing spells. Right, I'm going to cast 2 Cure Light Wounds on Carrick. Right. No, great. Well, that's 6 points. He's up to 13 out of 17. Now, was that fight worth it? That went really quite badly. So Carrick does indeed prize 4 large red garnets from the back of this ornate chair on the throne, on the dais, and they are indeed worth 500 gold pieces each. So yes, he did appraise them correctly, and well, where there's treasure there's trouble. Well, we've learnt that. Malin picks up all his throwing daggers. Donard walks over to the skeletons that he's turned and who are now in ashes from the flaming oil. And he looks at them and he says, I wonder who these people were. Just because this whole place seems to be evil doesn't mean everybody in it is. What if these were skeletons of slaves? And I've just condemned their souls to hell. And Malin, who's ever curious, wants to know what he means. And Donard says, well, we don't really know that much about the undead. It's assumed that when clerics raise undead, that not only do they animate the body, but a piece of the soul is required. And that means that wherever that person's soul was, some of it is drawn back into this world. And then when we turn them and destroy them again, have we sent their soul to one of the hells? I wonder. And Malin says, but this hasn't bothered you before. And Donard says, yes, well, it bothers me now. And Liz whispers to Sylvia, I don't like this. I want the old Donard back. And Sylvia says back to Liz, yes, he seems to have lost his motive for vengeance without knowing why he ever had it. I don't think vengeance is what drives him. I think it's trying to work out why. And without that, this isn't doing him any good. And Liz says, it's that helmet. Ever since he put that on, he's changed. Sylvie says, yeah, we need to get it off him. Carrick and Malin are looking at the skeletons, and they see they all have these amulets. Perhaps they are part of the disguise. I'll throw a d20 for each of them to see if they suss this. And both Malin and Carrick score well under their intelligence. So yes, they work out that maybe they should use these amulets as part of their disguise. So there is 12 of them. Well, 4 are a bit charred, so there's 8 of them. That's more than enough for one each. So we put them on. And these are the amulets which give the undead here 1 level of protection from turn undead. So we've nothing to do but go back into here, into room 53 here, and in this room are zombies. 8 zombies, and of course we get ready to fight, but they don't move to fight us. Now, there is no thrones with gems, no special statues, no treasure chests. There doesn't seem to be anything to trigger them, yet they don't fight us. Let's make another intelligence roll. I'll do orange for Malin and green for Donard. And Malin susses that perhaps it's the amulets that we're wearing. Perhaps they offer a kind of protection from the undead as well. There's nothing else in this room. So we're going to go back here and I'm going to make another roll. Remember, we're going at about half speed because of the noise of this corridor. Are we successful? If we are, then we don't make any noise. If we're not successful, well, let's see what happens. So odds are we're noisy, evens are we're quiet. And we're quiet, so nobody comes looking for us, and we've nothing to do but go up this slope and either go east or west. Let's take a vote. 1 to 3 east, 4 to 6 west. And it's west. I'm going to put an asterisk there because that is where we're going to explore next time. So until then, I'll see you later.